Welcome back to Old School. Last episode, we fished and we fished and we fished until we made enough money to buy some land. Today, we're about to do the same thing, but this time it's to start getting equipment and possibly a place to live. So we're getting back at it here. We are fishing. I just released one. We're going to be working towards those bonuses, and I got some comments that told me that, I think 100 is going to be the maximum bonuses. So right now, we're going to hang out here. It's still August. We have some time left. We are going to get through September in today's episode. But we're going to try to get 25 more junk. And gosh, I don't know if we're going to get 50 more fish released, but we definitely need more money. We only have $25. I have no idea what the cost of our land will be overnight. For our income upkeep and production, not production costs, but just upkeep of our buildings, and our tent is the only thing we really own. So we'll go from there. But the big winner in the tractor debate was the Oliver. So we will be giving the Oliver a shot. We'll double check the money. I think it's like $5,000 that we're gonna need for that. But obviously we're gonna need some implements as well. So we're gonna need a lot more than $5,000, but I want to do this a little differently. Every time we do a start from scratch, we're constantly jumping right into farming. We're definitely going to do that. We're going to get vehicles. We're probably going to look into getting a truck sooner than later and get a revenue stream set up. But I definitely want to get this property set up to have a house on it, somewhere that we're living, and build the farmyard out more realistically, as if we were really, starting from scratch. You're going to buy a property, you're going to get some structures on that property. You might just lease land to start farming on it, or purchase land to start farming on it if you already have a place to store your equipment. But I don't think you're going to buy land and not have a house on it and just put equipment out in the middle of nowhere and sleep in a tent. So we're going to try a little bit, but it'll be a struggle. I did get a farmhouse that I felt looked old school enough for us. That does cost $25,000. So that is a dollar amount we will be looking at in this episode. But we're going to try to bust through the rest of this fishing for today's episode and not show too much of it so we can start getting to the actual series. I think this is it. What's going to happen when we hit X? Ooh, that's way more than I thought it was. Okay, 75,000. We're kind of set for a little bit. We're going to make the hike back home. And yes, we're going to sleep. We're going to get to September. This is a good amount of money to start with. I'm tempted to get the other 75,000, but we still have like 25 or 26 more fish to throw back. So maybe when we're desperate for some cash, but let's head on back into our property and get some rest. And I'm going to put these sleeping bags away too, because we're not going to need them anymore. Nice. All cleaned up there. Let's head on into the dealership and make our first purchase. Hello. All right, small tractors, and down here for 5,700, we do have this Oliver. 61 horsepower. Not sure what all's gonna hook up on it, but it's gonna be our start. Let's go ahead and buy it. Now, I'm gonna let you guys know I'm opening this up. Look at all of these errors. They're technically warnings. I don't think they're gonna cause issues, but if they do, we're gonna swap this out. But I think we'll be okay because they are just some warnings there. Now, if this is the main road, we probably want to somewhat respect it and kind of build out extending this road. We're definitely going to be eyeing that property to my right, but I'm kind of thinking if that road just continues, it's a nice square county that we're in. So if we just keep it going straight to the edge of our property, I don't think that would be a bad thing. And then everything to the left there, we could start, making a field possibly, but this plot of land isn't tiny. I think we have a start here, and we still have $73,000. Very nice of the county to give us that reward for cleaning up the pond. Let's go ahead and drive this back to, that back corner where the tent was. Call up the house delivery guys. I think that's their technical term, house delivery guys. Start transforming this property. All right, we still have $48,000 after that. Let's go ahead and take a look and enjoy our new road here. It's nice and wide, so this is definitely good for if this county does decide to put in markings on these roads and have 2 lanes here. You can get very wide vehicles on this. I was a little debating a little bit about it. Is that too wide? But gosh, it's going to blend right into that existing little commercial area there. See our nice little house in the distance? Yeah, very satisfied with the size of this lot, and this is one of the smaller ones. So not bad. This will be a temporary little parking spot. We're gonna have to get some like covered parking and potentially repair that already. Looks like it's okay. But let's see what this house is all about. The insides. These people are very modern for old school. Need a little more furniture, but home, sweet home. These open up. We got some modern beds in here. I didn't know it was so modern inside, guys, but it works. It works. That's old school. We have a house to live in. We got some bedrooms. We got a little storage closet. We got another, for the kids, little kid room. And another room. Was that the master? We got 2. Looks like we sleep there. What about back here? All right, just another room. Maybe we could rent it out, make some money. Got a little kitchen going. Little stove. Know about the stove top, but the oven will work. And can we go out the sliding door? Oh, that needs some grease. All right, just need to open once. So yeah, we'll get this decorated eventually back here. And let's get our doors shut for now. We don't want it to look like we just, leave everything wide open. Oh, but now what? Now what do we do? I think... Are you going to be good enough for a hay operation? I don't know how we would move bales around. There's no front loader. But we can baby step it. We're going to start a hay operation because I want some Highland cattle. Yes, we want some Highland cattle on old school. So let's go ahead. We're going to head on in to the dealership. I think the first thing we'll look at is a mower setup, and then after that we can look into something for tedding and rowing and figure out where we want to establish some actual well-treated grass fields versus where we want to put a pasture long term, and keeping in mind that we want to naturally grow to my left, possibly behind us as well, expand. But yeah, you can really see the size of this lot. Pretty good size for $40,000. We did eat a chunk of it away with the street, but it was necessary. Definitely necessary. We'll look into some trucks too. We're gonna browse the store a little bit here and see if we can find some things that are really gonna tempt us to spend some cash. And we need to work on the brakes on this thing because it is rough. That's old school way, Oliver's, huh? Probably realistic. All right, let's go in here. Let's take a look. Let's do some shopping. Yeah, 30,000. We can't justify that. And I'm kind of eyeing. Well, let's eye this one for $6 grand. We're kind of eyeing this truck that we could do some auto loading on. Not sure I want to do that yet, but that's something to keep in mind. All right, that was tempting. That was tempting. Let's do first thing first here. Let's look at what we have for mowers, and if we need to go search the interwebs for some more. This old New Holland does say it needs 50 horsepower, so that's a contender. This John Deere one, 25,000, that's way too much. 5,000, I'm okay with that. But you know, this Oliver just seems to be calling our name. Let's go ahead and wish us luck. All of these mods we downloaded. Looks like this is Scooter's Workbench, the Oliver 129 conditioner. And let's see how this bad boy works together. These bad boys, I should say. Definitely gonna want some more transportation other than just the tractor long term. But this thing is huge compared to this tractor. This is cartoony. Unfolds real nice. I think we'll just go right next to our bushes here and see about if this is going to work for us. You know, it seems to be doing the job. I mean, as silly as it looks, and it's going 11 miles an hour, I don't think we can complain about that. Let's go ahead and we'll respect the forest a little bit. I don't want to, you know, cut all the way up to it, but we might go a little bit closer. But let's get our first operation done of farm work on old school. Let's do it. All right, one time around, this is seeming promising, guys. It's gonna, oh no, you know, turning's a little sketchy there, but I think we'll be okay. We'll just have to make sure. Oh no. Did we lift? Did we lift? We lifted. Let's go back. We'll loop around. So turning to the right seems a little rough. What about turning to the left seems to be the key. So I think what we'll do is we'll loop around this direction instead. Go ahead and get it lowered here. Yeah, that'll be much better. Then we can just kind of whip around. That makes sense based on the direction of things. Yeah, this is good. Good first job for the farm. Let's get her done. All right, we got a little lost there, but doing pretty good, making some good progress. Wanting to try to keep these swaths as good as possible because I haven't decided what we're gonna do when it comes to finishing it yet. If we're gonna do bales or if we're gonna work on getting something like a forage harvester or a forage wagon for that. Kind of what I'm leaning towards to start with. Seems like a good progression point for an old school playthrough. But I think we're a little bit more than halfway done. The field's getting skinnier. And I know we're driving on this wrong side. We probably should have not be driving on the grass we're going to cut all the time, but it just seemed to work out a lot better turning left than turning right. I wonder if I could swap over the mower over there to the left side. I don't know. Maybe we could. And that would solve all of the steering issues going the other way. Oh, there's a toggle mode on this too. Wide spreading versus swath. Is this widespreading? I gotta know now. It looks like it's just swath dropping. Maybe that was a feature that's going to be added. And that last pass is heading back to the house, which is perfect. We'll be able to park the mower on over by the house. And then we're going to head back to the store, start looking at some more equipment, figure out what can fit in the budget for us to get some hay done in September. I'm definitely working on some plans on where I want to store this stuff long term. But for now, it's going to go right here to stay out of the way. That'll work right there. All right, let's head back in. Spend a little bit more money. It's like a decent amount of grass that's going to turn into hay. Hopefully, it's a good amount of money. Yeah, slow is much better than fast on parking, I believe. All right, let's figure it out. $45,000 to spend. We got some things to get. Well, that's going to look even. Hopefully, we have horsepower for this. We have $20,000 to figure it out if we don't, but we are going to start with the Vermeer TD 190 Tedder, the Vermeer VR 1224 Rake, and Tarup. I think that's how you say this. 1030. Should be good. Should be good. Let's get the first thing we need, the Tedder. Start getting this equipment back home, and we'll see how much money we bring in on hay today. We're not going to be able to save it. We're going to want to spend or sell it right away. And decent width here. I decided not to go with the Oliver. I was tempted to go with everything Oliver here, but it just made sense to not because of the extra width we got here. So let's get this enabled. It is going on our road a little bit, but that's okay. It is ours. We should be able to handle that. Yeah, and this shouldn't be too bad. Now that we have that width, we're able to do 2 passes at a time instead of just 1. And then I believe the rake's even bigger. So that should help a ton when it comes to rowing this back up. Able to go 10 miles an hour with this implement as well. Should make for pretty quick work. Let's get her done. And we are done with tedding. So I am starting to get some ideas of where I want things. So we're definitely going to be, once we have the money, building out this farmyard. Ooh, backing this thing's up is a little rough. Something I did not notice. Let's hook that back up and get out. Is that that doesn't go anywhere. There's no connection for the PTO. That's hilarious. Okay, we're going to pretend we didn't notice that and do the same thing with the rake. Let's go get it, and that should, be a lot quicker. Even, each step of this should be quicker because of the width of the equipment. And we'll definitely have the grass to the left to cut as well. And knowing that we're expanding, we'll probably put our first actual grass field to the left and save the area to the right for the farmyard and a little bit of cattle pasture, which I really want to look into some mods for the pasture setup before. So that will not be this episode, maybe next episode. We'll see how quick we can feel like we can afford the cattle. We will do 1 headland here. We just don't have room not to. Let's go ahead and get this lowered, get it activated. Well, it's a rake, so we just got to drive. But we'll go ahead, we'll sneak to the left a little bit because I do think it was really kicking into this taller grass. And kind of hug the outskirt here, and then we'll be able to get a bigger pass next time. That just feels a little bit bigger. Halfway done with our chores for the day. Let's get these other 2 tasks done. Yeah, it could have got over a little bit more. So this doesn't seem, it is wider, but it's definitely faster. This is nice. The good setup once these are actually fields and we can get some employees to help us out. We can do these tasks even faster with multiple tractors as well. Just a glorious start for an old school playthrough, survival style. And the last pass, we almost were able to come over to the left far enough to pull in that row to our left, but not quite. But this is perfect. This is working out great. Some good starter equipment here, and loving this Oliver. It's performing great for how old it is. No complaints here. Cozy seats. just cruising. We are going to go straight, though, and behind the house here. Try to get this whole row. Yeah, just a little bit. That's all right. We'll get the rest of it later on. But it is 1 o'clock. I think we'll head in the house and get a little bit of a snack here for lunch before we head back to get our forage wagon. All right, let's get something cooked up here and have a nice satisfied belly for the afternoon. And I'm thinking, I don't know if we're gonna have enough horsepower for this, so we might be looking into a second tractor already, but we will see here. This is just gonna be comical though, size difference wise. Nope, we missed. Oh, it looks like that implement was the issue, not the tractor. All right, let's go ahead. Got it lowered. Let's get it turned on. And we're cruising. We'll do the outskirts here first, a little bit that we have left to do. And, you know, 1,200 already, just on that little bit that we got. Man, I think cab view might be the best for this. Woo. Handling, it's moving us around a little bit more than everything else was. 15% full already. I'm hoping we get a couple loads out of this thing, but, you know, time will tell. Either way, this ground's looking great. Nice and primed. Nice cut we got on it. Last task of the day. Let's get her done and make some money. All right, not gonna lie, I'm super excited with how quickly that filled up. Let's head on in and see if we can figure out where we sell this. I know we're not gonna get the peak price, or most likely, but nothing we can really do about that. We have nowhere to store this. And it looks like we are headed to the other side of this map, or this county here, because the price was amazing over at the bale sale location. So it'll be a little bit of driving, and we'll learn as we go what the routes are, but I think we will stick to the roads just to get there. Definitely gonna make the day a little bit longer. Use a little bit more diesel than we're planning on using. Let's go make some cash. Nice to see this part of the map. A little bit more terrain over here, not as flat, which is awesome. I don't know if we'll ever make our way out here, but if you're looking at using this map, it's so far like it's a contender for no man's land. We'll see what this little sales area looks like, but are we going to the train station? Bale export. Maybe that is the train station. I hope it's a sales location, though. All right, here's the entrance. A little bit of a drive. Now, I imagine what we need to do is back up to that right there. Oh, brakes. Non-existent. It's a lot of weight, though. We're carrying 12 pounds here with this tractor. Or 12 pounds, 12 tons. That doesn't seem to be it. Try over here. Yes, here we go. Dumping the hay. What are we gonna make? This should be pretty decent money. Wow, over 4,000 already. This makes the drive worth it. 7,500 per load today. I hope we get at least 2 more. That would be glorious, but let's take the long trek back home, get some more hay picked up. I think we'll be able to afford that pasture in no time. That's going to be the next goal. Well, some sheds as well. Building that farmyard out. Maybe figuring out if we can get a hay barn too would be nice. Let's get back. All right, we're back at it. Should get another good load here and some at least 7,000 more dollars. Be nice to get that dollar amount back up to about 40 grand before we're done. I think we got a shot at it. That'll be it for load number 2. We're definitely getting 2 more loads at least after this. Glorious. Putting some hours and miles on this thing today already. 12.3 miles that we've driven. Yeah, so driving all the way out here, we're getting about twice of what we would from the animal dealers, so it's definitely worth it. Hey, where's the trigger? Only gonna work once? We got to reset every time? I went to the wrong spot. Pretty cool design here where you're kind of loading it onto the train, but not actually putting it on the train. I love it. I think if I was implementing the base game, I would do it this way too. I mean, renting the train's kind of cool, but once you do it once, it's just a thing you do. get 7,500 more bucks and get back and get more. Definitely feel like we can get above 40,000 to spend a little bit of money on the farmyard. 35,000 now. Keep on keeping on. And we're heading back from the bale export location where we have our total up to $54,000. I do want to take a look and see what did we actually make off of that grass harvest. And in our finance tab, we do see $33,915 of harvest income. Pretty glorious. Let's get home. Let's spend a little bit of cash. Now, I don't think we're going to run into any problems with crime out here, but we might. But this is what we've gone with so far. I think we'll push that back just a little bit. Same with that. It's a nice little old rusty shed to protect all our goods. And a little bit of decorating and distressed ground here to show that we've been driving back and forth. And it might not make sense today, but that definitely would make sense over time, and I think this build's turning out pretty sweet. You can see the cattle already in the field out there. Our field's expanding this way, maybe this way too. Maybe get a better house eventually. I don't know. This does fit pretty good for old school to me, though. I'm loving it, guys. Like, just take a little closer zoom in look. Jump in the sky a little bit. I think we've done pretty good for ourselves in only 2 months' time so far on farmlands here on our old school survival series. This is where I'm going to leave you today. I'm Socksway Up. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll catch you on the next episode.